Hello. Good morning, everyone. I'm back. It's Brenda over here at B.laster Works. And we did skip Trash Talk last Sunday because I had some stuff to do and I was getting ready to go on a very short road trip, which happened last week. And we can get into that in a little bit, but let's just go over our trash real quick because I am going to the flea market today. So I want to get at least this part done so that when I come back, then I can work on the pages. All right, so we are in June, and last week would have been, not last week, but last week's Trash Talk would have been the first week of June. So we don't have anything in here yet, but let me take out my trash for the first week of June. And then this here is the second week, which was the week we just finished. Okay. And we're in Italy this month. And they did take out the next payment for the next box. So I guess I did, I was able to resubscribe or whatever. In fact, I think they'll just do it until I not subscribe is what I'm guessing. All right, so we'll stop that for a second. And let's just go into the Italian snacks real quick, which only had a couple that first week. And I tried the tiramisu, which was very good. The cake was soft, had a good flavor. The cream was still nice. It felt, for a packaged tiramisu, it tasted fresh, you know what I mean? As fresh as it could be for a packaged. So yeah, this was good. I'd say about 8 out of 10. Then we had, hubby had these, and they were kind of like Funyuns, but they were pizza flavored, which when I opened the bag, it did smell like pizza. He said he felt it was more just like the ketchup flavor or tomato flavor chips that he had just had. I tried a couple of them and I thought they did actually taste like pizza. So I thought they were good. I thought they did actually taste like a pizza. So I would say he would probably say 8 out of 10. I would probably say, because they did kind of capture the smell and the flavor, it was crunchy. Oh, there goes my light. I would say 9 out of 10 on this one for a chip, which I'm more the sweet person and he's the chip person. But yeah, so it was pretty, though. They were pretty good. Let me see if I can plug my light in real quick. Not that it matters. I think you guys can still see okay. But and I don't know if this work if I plug it in. Yeah, okay. All right, let's do that. Have it go across my lap here. All right, and then I tried this cold brew. This was in a small 1-serving bottle, and it was a mushroom cold brew coffee, and it is made. Does it have the ingredients on this? Yeah. So purified water is the main ingredients. And then it just lists, it's hard to read, but it lists all, and then coffee is the next, I think, roasted something New Guinea coffee. Okay. And then comes the, 2 kinds of coffees. And then comes the lion's mane, turkey, blah, 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 mushrooms. All right. So no wonder I was going to say it really tasted like coffee, but that's because coffee was the main ingredient. All right. So with that, I would say, I don't know. I probably wouldn't buy it again because, I buy the other cold brew coffee and I really like that, and it's coffee. So I would just stick to that. It's cheaper too, because this was kind of pricey for a little bottle. But I just wanted to try it because I thought, it's very hard to read this. I thought it was mostly mushrooms first and then a little splash of coffee, but it's coffee first and a little splash of mushrooms. So what's the point, right? So, but yeah, so I tried that. And then I also got another card, a sympathy card for Hansi, a friend of mine at work, and she had lost or misplaced the card, and then she found it, and so she felt bad for giving it to me and opening old wounds, so to say. But I told her, no, that's fine, because actually, I'm working on another art piece that will have have my boy on it, so it's always there. It doesn't matter what what month it is or whatever. He's always in my mind, and so and yeah, so I'm going to add this to here. So I'll put her card in here also into my trash talk. So that's 2 weeks ago. And then last week, I tried these. And this one I did try with tomato soup. And it's like crackers. They were very thick. They were probably about quarter inch thick. They were really thick. They were hard. So the soup was good because I dunked it in the soup to soften it up, crumbled it, a few pieces in there. But they were perfect for my tomato soup. So this is something that I would buy if we have it here, this brand, because I wouldn't trust anybody. Very good rosemary flavor, not too overwhelming. It was just really good. I like this one. I'd say 9 out of 10 with tomato soup. I didn't try it on its. I mean, I tried a piece on its own, but I wouldn't just sit there and eat these crackers. I would have to have it with tomato soup because they were quite hard. I did try this cookie, which was really good. Kind of crumbly, dry. But like I said, I don't expect these to be like out of the oven fresh. You know what I mean? But had a nice amount of the hazelnut chocolate cream in there to help with the dryness of the cookie. So that made up for it. So I'd say about 8 out of 10. And I would eat this again. And then remember, we didn't know what these were. They're like Cheetos. They're like Cheetos, but the not orange cheese. They were a very light color, and they were very good. They were kind of like the new Cheetos that hubby and I like to get, the Barber's brand. They were kind of like those, except for color wise, they were just a little bit lighter, which is fine. But the flavor was on point. So another 8 or 9 out of 10. I would definitely eat these again. If I could read like the ingredients and stuff. I guess I could use my translator app to see what's all in there. But yeah, I liked these. I was going to share it with hubby, but I started eating them and he was in the other room relaxing and I was in the living room relaxing and I just didn't feel like eating up and I ended up eating the whole bag by myself. Shame on me. He doesn't know. So this is last week's. And then I also finished off another cookie package. Remember, I bought like 4 of these. They were on sale. So here's another one. And I had already cut it open because I accidentally broke the bag trying to get the middle out. These are good. These I like anything with like toffee or caramel or anything like that in it. So these had like toffee bits along with the chocolate chips. And I think these cookies, I mean, they're not expired, but they seem like they're a little stale. You know what I mean? Like either that or it's just because I don't know, because they're store bought, so they're always stale. I don't know, but the last batch and this batch, and then I already opened another batch. I just feel like they're kind of shelf life wise, they're kind of on the border there. This is just a receipt from this place. So anytime, so last week, the reason I taught you about my little road trip, I went up to San Jose to my brothers and my mom just for like, I left on Monday and I came back on Wednesday. That's how quick it was. Because my mom had a doctor's appointment on Tuesday. She had a swollen foot. She has a swollen foot. And so my brother was concerned, made an appointment, and he asked, kind of last minute, but not last minute, But he asked me the week before if I could come up and go with him to the doctor's appointment, in case there's any girl questions or anything like that, so I made arrangements and I did go up there, and then when I go to San Jose on the way home, I usually will stop at this place and pick up hubby and myself dinner. I know it's like a 6 hour to 7 hour drive home, but it's worth it. We love this place, and it's Jamaican Caribbean cuisine, and it's really good and reasonably priced. So the only problem is the last few times I went to San Jose, I usually leave on a Monday to come home, and they're closed on Mondays. So this time, since I was coming home on a Wednesday, ta-da, we were able to have dinner. So yeah, so I got that. But I am going to get ready to go to the flea market because this is all my trash. I'm going to get ready to go to the flea market. I am going to probably like cut some of this stuff to get my pages ready and all that kind of stuff and figure it out. And then I'll come back. I'll either come back from the flea market and put it together with you, or I will just put it together and then we'll just go over it. And haven't decided yet. It all depends on what time I get back, and if hubby's up and about and in here doing things and I can't, concentrate or anything like that. But I also want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, my brothers, my hubby, my subscribers, my friends, family, everybody. Wish you guys a happy Father's Day, and I'm hoping to find something for hubby at the flea market. But if not, we don't really give each other gifts and stuff for that. We're all past that by now. um, but anyways, but I'll be back, you guys, and hang tight, okay? Hello, I'm back. Didn't find anything at the flea market, but I have to say, weather-wise, it was a great day because it was overcast and just now the sun is peeking out and now it's starting to get a little warm. So we left there just in time. But what I did was before I left to the flea market, I kind of organized, and I'm going to tell you guys what I'm going to do with my trash, and then I'll do it where I can just fast forward. But this is going to be my page. Okay, and I had to tape it up because it was ripped, as you see. It was ripped upon opening, and so I don't like the way that looks. So I'm thinking of using, originally I was going to use this as a pocket and then put the card in there and use the card for journaling. But I think I'll use this for decoration, kind of put it up here like this, just to cover that up. Actually, I could probably even move over a little bit more like that. And then the card, what I did with the card was it was like this, right? But I took it apart here. Okay, so as you can see, where it was kind of glued down, I ripped it open there. I can use this for plenty of journaling space. I don't even need that much because this week was actually quite uneventful. But I'm going to tape this part down like that. So the card will still be functional, and then journaling on this side. Okay, so I think I'll do that with that. And then this will just be decoration. So I'll just tape this down like so. I'll probably trim it a little. Yeah, I'll just trim it a little bit and then put it down here like that. So that'll be week 1. And then week 2, which was just last week, I'm going to use the cookie packaging for the page. This one I didn't really think too much out. I just got that far. All right, so then I think I'll just put this as a decoration. All right. Yeah, that'll fit perfect. The rest will also be decoration. I can trim it. And then I actually cut this out of the book because looking at this, you can't tell it was Cheetos. Looking at this, you can kind of see that they look like Cheetos. So this will go with this, whether I tuck it in or whatever. I just wanted to keep that. So this page, I don't really know, but mostly decoration. Maybe one of these will be a pocket, and the inside of the cookie packaging will be the journaling card. And actually, I can use some of this to decorate this also, and then just write on the back. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Maybe put one of these on the back side too, like that. Okay. That is actually what I think I'll do. Maybe I'll use this. No, because I don't want to cover up my backyard either. Maybe you know what? I'm going to use this like a flip. Stick this inside there. Use this as decoration, or this will just be an extra card in there. This will be decoration on there, and then this actually maybe, yeah, and then I'll put the green against the white background so it's more noticeable. Something like that. All right. So that's my plan, and I'm going to do it. And then, well, before I get started, I'll tell you back about my trip to San Jose. So I went up there because my mom, like I told you, her foot was swollen, just one foot. My brother was concerned, so we took her, and it was actually a blood clot. So she is on blood thinners now. But I'm going to tell you, Kaiser insurance, or Kaiser, going through Kaiser, it was great. I'm sure they have their flaws just like any other company, but we had a great experience with them, and I just want to say that because our appointment was at 2:30. We went early. They saw us early, and then she had to get an ultrasound, which was at the main hospital because we were at like a little clinic, so they don't do ultrasounds there. She had to go get an ultrasound. The doctor calls up the main hospital, gets us an appointment in for that same day because she knew I was leaving the next day to come back home. She was able to get us an appointment for the ultrasound. We got the ultrasound. They sent her the results right away. She right away called us back before we even left the hospital to get lab work done and pick up my mom's prescription. All in the span of a few hours, because that was the doctor. I give credit to the doctor because she was very diligent and did her best to make sure we could get everything done in the same day, and I appreciate that. So I just wanted to give Kaiser a shout out for that because and that doctor, I can't remember her name unfortunately, but she was really really good. Young doctor, very friendly, good bedside manner, and we appreciate that. And then my mom, she has a high blood pressure. All of us in the family, we are borderline hypertension or high blood pressure. So when they came in to do her blood pressure, I said, "Can you do it manually? Don't use the pump, the electric one that pumps up on its own. Can you do it manually?" And they're like, "Sure." And so they did it manually, and her blood pressure was like 132, something like, like way lower than normal. And I told them, well, it's because that pump is too tight. It gives her anxiety and it hurts. It causes pain. And anytime you have pain, your blood pressure is going to go up. So the doctor said, well, from now on, you make sure you let the nurse know to give you the manual, to use the manual uh, blood pressure reading instead of the pump. So just in case any of you guys are going to the doctor and you notice your blood pressure is pretty high and they're using that pump one, the electric one, ask to get a manual reading also and see if there's a difference. But anyways, okay, so that's my preaching for the day. I am going to now finish this up, and if I think of anything else, I'll chime in. Otherwise, fast forward. All right, let me shut up now. Okay, we are done. That was good. All right, so I still need to put, see if I can find those stickers. They should be over here in my little scrap bin. So I'm going to put these on here with the week, which I don't remember the week number. I think 23, 24, or 22, 23. I'll have to look at the other one. So I'm going to put those still on and rank my snacks. But for the most part, this is week 1 of June. And you open it up. Oops. I think I'm going to have to do like a little Velcro or something just to keep that closed. So that when you open it up, it doesn't open like that. But this is going to be my journal card for the week. And it opens up this way. This is the coffee and the tiramisu. And then this is week 2 of June. And it's going to open like this. We have decoration, backyard, and then the cookie, and then the Cheetos will flip. I kind of still want to translate that and see what's in there. That's why I kept it that way. And then this is going to be my journal card, along with I have this on here. And then when you close this side, we will have the other snack, Italian snack there. Okay, that is it. Let me see. Did I forget to tell you guys anything? My trip to San Jose was the main thing. Work is still work. Weekly hours are about 28. I just got the next budget of hours for, I think it's the first week of July, and it's still 28, which means to stay full-time, I have to have 30 hours. So I might have to either work a couple extra hours doing something like on retail, helping them out, or using 2 hours of PTO, which I can do because I do have some PTO saved up. Let's see what else. Garden-wise, my garden is actually alive still. The plants look good. I have not planted the spinach seeds, and what I'm doing is I'm watering it. That garden bed, I'm watering it down so that the dirt kind of settles before I add in the other soil with the coconut core. I still have to add that in, but I'm just letting the branches and the ground dirt, the regular dirt from my yard, I'm trying to let that settle first so I can see how much to add, and then I'll add that. I still got to add that trellis, and I'm thinking with my cucumbers, they're already starting to grow, and I don't think I want them to be on the ground inside the garden bed. I think I'm going to attach string from the garden bed up to, it's close enough. I think I can do it up to the roof or up to one of the pillars that hold up my patio roof. So I might do that so that they can grow up on a string, like a string type trellis. If I do whatever I do, I'll show it to you guys. But yeah, but everything looks good. Nothing has died yet. My blueberry bush is planted. It looks still alive. So that's pluses. I know it's still kind of early. It's only been like a week, but still, usually you go through that period where they kind of die a little bit and then come back. But they all look good still. The week before I went to San Jose, so that last week, I rode my bike 5 days every day. I do plan on doing that this week also if I can. I just have an extra day off this week due to a doctor's appointment that I had scheduled the week before, but since I went to San Jose, I had to change it to this week. So I'm going to work Saturday instead of being off. I'm going to work Saturday, but I still have to use a PTO for another day. So yeah, so that's my week ahead. I did start my project. If you guys saw the post I did with that background, my background, I did start that. I'm actually going to work on that today. So I'm working on that video right now, which once that's done, I probably need to go back into the asylum for a little while and do something there. So that's my plan so far. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for joining me today. As always, I love you guys. I know this is a kind of mundane thing, just trash snacks, all that kind of stuff. But you know what? It's fun. It's fun for me. And I hope you guys are enjoying it too. And if you guys have any ideas or snacks you want me to try, email me, message me, whatever, because I will try. If I can get a hold of the snacks, I'll try them. I'm all for trying. And it doesn't always have to be healthy. I mean, it's a plus, but that's a plus for sure. But even if it's just something you really like and you want me to try it, you think I'll like it, let me know. All right. Until then, you guys, stay creative, stay kind, stay positive, be happy. All right. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Tschüss.